Hi friends, it's your girl Laura. I'm back. I thought I would make a video on the different testing that comes during and before your breast cancer diagnosis. So it can be a little scary and a little confusing, especially if you're not in the medical world. I actually am very familiar. My family has always been surrounded in the medical capacity, so I'm very knowledgeable in that field. I worked as a CNA in the postpartum unit at a hospital, so I got to be in the nursery with the little babas, and I would get pulled to different units, so I got to see a lot. The nurses were really cool, and they would teach me things, and just gained a lot of knowledge in that capacity. I'm thankful for God for that he's kind of set me up in that way. A lot of health issues with different family members growing up, so I was very involved even at a young age of taking care of them, and just feeling comfortable and familiar with that field. But sometimes you're not. Sometimes it's all new to you and it's a different lingo. They're literally talking in a different language, and it can be very overwhelming and intimidating. So I thought, why not make a video about it? So my cancer is a very aggressive, fast-growing cancer. I have breast cancer. And the thing that I keep hearing from everyone, doctors, nurses, surgeon, radiology, is we need to hurry up. We need to be aggressive. We need to move fast. But the insurance company isn't on the same page. And that is very frustrating. Literally today, I've been waiting on my chemotherapy to start. I already have my port put in. We're waiting on insurance. Insurance doesn't want me to start until after New Year's because I've already met my deductible. So they want me to wait so that I start over, which of course I'm going to meet my deductible very quickly. But it's just frustrating because they're not medical professionals in the insurance world. If you're an insurance employee, sorry if I'm offending you, but I'm just saying it like it is. It stinks, right? We're at your mercy, and this is scary, and it's expensive. And these, I made a list of all the tests, so I would remember to tell you about them because I forgot one, because it is overwhelming and it is a lot. So first of all, it starts with you going to your OBGYN. So for me, I found a mass. I found a lump in my left breast. I went, the doctor's going to feel, of course I had already felt it, but she felt it. Okay, we're going to send you for a mammogram. You're going to go for a mammogram. A mammogram looks like a big x-ray machine, but it has two shields on it and they smush together. I don't have both hands available, but, it kind of smashes your breast like a pancake, and then it's going to take an image just like an x-ray would be. So a lot of us are familiar with x-rays and a little more comfortable with that. It is uncomfortable, but not terrible. I do have a smaller chest, so maybe if you were a larger size, it would be maybe more uncomfortable. It kind of smashes them and it like pulls them. So it's just uncomfortable. It's awkward because the technician is all up in your business. She's literally positioning you and moving you all around. Because I did work in the postpartum unit and I had to help a lot of ladies with breastfeeding, and you're obviously seeing their lady parts down there when you're having a baby. So I'm like, hey, you're a medical professional, do what you got to do. If you got to grab something up here, grab it. Like, we're all ladies here. But, for a person walking into that, I kept thinking about my mother-in-law who, is very, very modest. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I pray she never has to do this, because it's very, you're very exposed, and they try to keep it as nice as possible. You wear the gown that opens in the front, and they try to say like, okay, we're just gonna move this breast out, but you can leave this one covered. But like, let's be real, when they're grabbing your tatas, like there is like, we're best friends now. This is a little too close and personal. So it can be very overwhelming based on your personality and your comfort level. And then also awkward. There's like a plastic shield right here, and your face is up against it. So you're literally like this, and you're like pressing your boobs out, your butt's pushed back like this. It's just, I mean, I had a laugh. I'm like, I got to find joy from this, because if not, it's a little too much. And then they're scanning you. And while you're standing there, you're literally thinking, do I have cancer? Are they like, are they going to find something on this scan? And then you have to wait for the results. I was blessed. The radiologist was able to look at my scans right away. She came in and said, hey, this looks suspicious. We need to get a biopsy done, of course. Next, they sent me to ultrasound, and again, just confirmed, hey, things are looking suspicious. An ultrasound is just like what you get with a baby when you're pregnant, when they do your tummy, but it's of your breast. So again, they're rubbing this wand on your boobies, and it's a little awkward if you're not, it can be so vulnerable. It can be so exposing. It hasn't been for me. Just like, do what you got to do, like get up all in there. But for the average person, it's very invasive, and it's very uncomfortable, and just not really something that you want to do. I've had to have some x-rays. Of course, a lot of us are familiar with x-rays. They just take a picture. That one's not as bad. CT with contrast. So MRI with contrast and CT with contrast. So with that, the MRI machine, this is something y'all might not know. I've had an MRI before and I'm not claustrophobic, but when I got this MRI with contrast with my breast, my head was actually where my feet would normally go. So the big magnet circle is behind me and I'm laying on my stomach and my breasts go like into this like port looking thing. It was not uncomfortable. It's just like you're laying on a cot, not bad at all. And then your hands are, it's kind of like, you know what it's like? It's like a massage table. I literally told the technician, I said, this is the worst spa I've ever been to. I said, I feel like I should be getting a massage. So your face goes down in the pillow, just like if you were at the spa. And so the magnet's behind you, and then the bed slides up and down. So if you've never had one, it's not as bad if you're claustrophobic. For your breasts, it's not as intimidating. A regular MRI, when your head is in there, it's like right up in your grill. It could be, if you're claustrophobic, a little intimidating. The worst part is the contrast. You do not feel the contrast. So when you get a CT with contrast, you can feel it running through your body, especially your lady parts. Don't want to be TMI, but let's be real here. There's no dignity left in anything after this diagnosis. There's no privacy left in this. But when you get a CT with contrast, your body feels warm, especially your lady parts for some reason. And an MRI is not like that. When you get an MRI with contrast, it's a different kind of dye. So the technician said, hey, have you ever had an MRI with contrast? I said, no. They want to see if you're allergic to the dye. I said, no, but I've had a CT with contrast and I wasn't allergic to that in the past. And she said, well, this is totally different. And I'm like, dye is dye. Like, I don't understand. A lot of people are not sure why they have to use the dye. They're looking for vascular changes. So when they're looking at the scan, they can see it lights up and it kind of looks vascular. And that tells them something here is funky. This is not just a cyst or a fibroid. There's vascular movement in this, and it's looking very, very suspicious. So an MRI is actually more sensitive than a mammogram. And I did not know that. So I learned something. I would have thought the mammogram would have caught more imaging, but actually the MRI is much better imaging for catching cancer. Let's see, what else? PET scan. I did not get a PET scan, and I might not, because insurance companies don't want to pay for it. Again, sorry if you work for an insurance company or if you are an insurance person, but it's frustrating. Like, okay, my lymph nodes are looking suspicious. I wish I could get a PET scan, but they're about $10,000 out of pocket, I believe. Don't quote me on that price. They're very expensive, several $1,000s, and the insurance company doesn't want to pay for it unless they're sure that you need it. And so it's like by the time you need it, it's almost too late, right? It's already spread. And that's alarming, and it's frustrating, and it just makes you feel like you're not important or a real person. And echo, hello. Like I told y'all, I have kids. I'm a real person. An echocardiogram. So I haven't had mine yet. I'm going to have an echocardiogram of my heart. And that's because
hold me.
I can't right this second, buddy, but in just a minute I will, okay?
But you want to see your owie.
You want to see my owie? He wants to see my owie. Okay, ready? I don't want to flash everybody on here.
Like homie.
Yeah, who's going to heal it?
God.
That's right. God's going to heal it. That's my port, guys. Guys, sorry if that like upset anybody. That is my port. I just had my port put in yesterday for chemotherapy. So, echocardiogram. So, chemotherapy, which I'm getting ready to start for my cancer, it can damage your heart. Right now, I'm young. I work out every single day. I'm very healthy for the most part, you know. But chemotherapy is very, very hard on your heart and liver and all the different, basically your entire body. You're literally putting a poison into your body. So they want to do a baseline echocardiogram so they can follow my heart the whole way through, because they can say, hey, your heart can't take this. We need to stop the chemo. But if you stop the chemo, then your cancer grows. So it's like, okay, you know, you're like weighing it out. What are we going to do? What are we not? Genetic testing. See all these tests you have to have. And this is all before you start. Right? They cannot start until you've had these testings. And it's like, let's hurry up, but hurry up and wait. And that is so frustrating when you feel like you know you have a cancer in your body. You just want to get started. Genetic testing. So genetic testing is super simple. It's just 1 tube of blood, which is not bad. So they just draw 1 tube of blood. And then they're looking for certain genetic markers. So when I went in, have your whole family history ready. So I was able to go down the list, mom, grandparents, aunts and uncles. That's what they're looking mainly at, brothers, sisters. And I found out there's a lot of cancer in my family. Whenever I sat down and wrote it out on paper, it was kind of crazy. My grandmother had breast cancer, but that doesn't necessarily mean that mine is genetic. I found out that my uncle had cancer, and the type of cancer he had, I believe, was testicular cancer on the prostate. I might be saying that backwards, but anyway, very rare. What he had is what Lance Armstrong had. It's very, very rare, and because of that, that puts me at a higher risk for breast cancer. And I'm like, what does that have to do with breast cancer? Like, I don't understand. But it does. So it's something to be mindful of. Something important.
Sticker.
Yep, you can have it. Something that hey, go check on Sis for me, please. One thing that I want to tell you that is very important that I mentioned is when I went to the genetic testing, the lady said, do you have life insurance on you? And I said, yes, but it's a very small policy. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I just lost my job with Beachbody, as a lot of you know. And so now I'm not bringing in any income at all. And so Travis and I only have a $25,000 policy on me. Very small. That basically bury me, and that's about it. That's not going to help Travis in any capacity, especially with medical bills. And now that I have this diagnosis, the life insurance companies will not let me add. Give that to Mama Bear. Thank you.
We found it at.
That's Mommy's. Thank you.
We found it.
Daddy gave that to me. It's beautiful, isn't it?
It was a present.
It was a present. Go check on Sis for me. Go see if she'll give you your ice cream that you wanted. See how I did that? See what we do there? I'm a real person. I'm a real mom. I'm just like you. So if you think I'm like special or cool, I'm not. I just bribed my kid with ice cream so I could finish this. Yeah, so now I can't up my life insurance policy. So if I get in thousands and thousands of dollars worth of debt during this cancer and chemotherapy treatment and surgeries, and multiple surgeries that I'm going to be having, multiple testing, as you just heard, they won't let me up my life insurance. So I hate to say this, but I thought I was young and healthy. I'm in my 30s. I'm 34. I work out every single day. I don't smoke. I'm not a drug user. You know, I'm thinking, unless I'm in a car accident, I'm going to live a very long time. That's literally what I thought. So I was like, I'll get life insurance when I'm 40 or 50 because it's expensive. Again, insurance is expensive, right? So Travis and I literally in October sat down to do the insurance plan for the upcoming year for 2025. He said, should we put life insurance on you, more life insurance on you? And I said, no, we can't afford it. We don't have an extra $12 a month to even add. We're a one income family now. We don't have enough money to add more life insurance on me that we're not even going to be using. That was in October. In November, I got diagnosed with breast cancer. So my advice to you would be, if you're in your 30s, you need to have life insurance, and you need to go ahead and put a big policy, 100,000, 200,000, maybe more. You need to, you don't know what life is going to throw at you. And I always say insurance is in case something happens, but if you don't have it, then you're in trouble. So now that I've had the genetic testing and I have this diagnosis, insurance companies will not let me increase my thing. The genetic counselor even told me I need to go ahead and get life insurance on my children, which I do not have yet because they're 4 and 11. And she said, especially because if mine comes back genetic, when Eliza is 18 and she gets tested, insurance companies will not let her go on. Even if she's not been diagnosed, even if she just gets the genetic testing, life insurance companies will not allow her to get a policy. So then you're like, okay, so now I need life insurance on me. So we're already paying a lot for my husband, you know, and then we're going to pay for me, and then we got to pay for our kids. And you're like, this is just a lot of information. So that was, hard to swallow, because I'm like, well, I'm so thankful we have that $25,000 policy, but that's not really going to help Travis out if something happens. And death is inevitable, guys. And I've said in other videos, if you haven't watched my other videos, go back and watch them. I don't fear death. I'm not afraid to die. I don't want to leave my family with a big debt. Right now, we've paid off all of our debt. We have, other than my now medical bills, we have no debt besides the mortgage of our house. Our cars are new cars, but they're paid off. We have no credit cards. All we have is our house. But we're a one-income family. We are an average American family. And Travis has a wonderful job, but that only pays, for so much. So it can be really overwhelming when you're looking at gas money and food and miles on your car. My appointments are an hour and a half away. Time off work. Travis will get his paycheck because he has FMLA, but he won't get his mileage check because he's not going to be driving. Well, that's extra money that we're used to having. So it's just, there's so much that goes into it. And we really just have to trust God, I think, and not get so focused on the enemy, because the enemy wants to, steal, kill, and destroy. Kill, did I say kill? He's going to kill you. Kill. There's my little accent coming out. He wants to steal your peace. He wants to steal your joy. He wants to destroy you. He wants you to be in fear. He wants you to be so distracted by your circumstances and so brought down by what could happen. Like, I'm flesh, of course. I'd be lying if I said money wasn't a factor for me. It's weird that I'm not worried about living. It's God's supernatural peace has covered me. Again, go back and watch some of my other videos. But every once in a while, my flesh will creep in, and it's about money and me worrying about how we're going to pay for this. And is our family going to drown in this? Is the insurance company going to drop us because these bills are getting so high, and I don't know how we're going to pay them? It's a real fear. I'm a real person. I'm just like you. God has surrounded me in supernatural peace, and I quickly go back to him when those thoughts enter my mind. I say, Lord, take these thoughts from me. I'm handing it to you. And I bounce back, but it does creep in. I'm a real person, and I have emotions and feelings just like everyone else, and it can be difficult. And I'm so thankful that I'm not dreading on the diagnosis, because if I was, that would make this 10 times harder, especially with the finances. And it's very difficult sitting in these rooms. I'm going to make another video on that, about what it's like getting these test results, what it's like hearing the doctor when they're talking to you. I'm going to make a whole nother video on that, so we won't get into that today. But there's a lot that goes into that, and especially again, if you don't have that medical knowledge or feeling comfortable around that. So what am I doing during this time? To wrap this video up, I am seeking Jesus. I'm concentrating on God and his promises. How am I doing that? I'm getting in my Bible every single day. I'm surrounding myself with sisters in Christ who can remind me when I'm having those down moments of God's love and his promises to me. Also, very important, discernment. I'm using discernment when making medical choices. So a lot of people have come at me, of course, with like, oh, you need to stop eating sugar, and you need to jump on a trampoline, and you need to put these oils on, and you need to take this medicine, and you need to get these plants and this and that. And I'm all about holistic. I mean, I love it. I was already starting to look at holistic things before this happened. I don't trust the medical field, if I'm being 100% honest. If you've ever heard me talk about it, I don't trust the vaccinations. That's a video for another day. But I wholeheartedly love holistic medicine. But what I will tell you, and this is the best way I can put it, you need to pray and ask God for discernment on making medical decisions. So every single test that we have done, Travis and I pray and say, God, if you do not want Laura participating in this test or this medication or whatever, you need to reveal it to us. Because if I were to just say I'm only taking a holistic approach because my cancer is so advanced and I've seen cancer in real time, again, my grandmother died of breast cancer, and I know what it's going to do to my body. I can't do that. So my advice would be, if you're wanting to take a holistic approach and you don't want cancer in your life, and you feel that those holistic things are going to work for you, then you need to start them now, before you have cancer. Don't wait till you have cancer to cut out sugar. Do it now. But I do think you should be doing those things. So absolutely, of course, my diet, I am working on that. I am looking at supplemental things or different oils and different things that are going to be able to help me. Yeah, my dad's cousin messaged me and was like, hey, like I do these, it's not really a spa, but it's like these treatments, right? Like through like massage, like all natural massages and just different things to get toxins out of your body. And yes, girl, hit me up. Like I'm like Jacqueline, I'm so excited for that. Like she is going to help me and bless me in that way. And yes, I'm doing those things, but I am still using modern medicine. I do believe God uses doctors. I do believe he uses medicine and puts people in your path. So my advice to you would be, use discernment and just pray and say, God, whatever you do, lead me to you, and make it clear to me and my husband if there's something that you aren't comfortable with us doing. So that's just, I don't know. I just felt like someone needed to hear that. But I love y'all. I hope this was very quick, long, but yet very quick, very choom, 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 choom. If you have questions on any of the testing, message me. The only one I didn't go over was the biopsy. The biopsy, they numbed the site. So my lump was right here. They numbed it. They're going to put in a large bore needle. That's a really fancy word. What that means is it's got a big hole. And then they're going to insert that. They're going to use an ultrasound guide over here to make sure they're in the right place. A lot of times you can even see it up on the screen. You'll see your mass. And then they're going to use another tool that's going to inject into the first large hole, the large needle, and it's kind of like a piping, and it goes down in, and then it goes choom, and it grabs a piece. And they took 4 pieces from mine for this one. I'm going to do this one on Monday, so we'll see what comes of that biopsy. And then the lymph nodes, I haven't had my lymph nodes biopsied yet, so I'm assuming it's the same process. I don't know. I'll let y'all know if it's not. If it's different, I'll do a video on that. But if you don't feel it, it makes a very loud click. It kind of sounds like a dart gun, but like amplified, very loud. Again, it could be very triggering. That's the thing I'm noticing a trend from all of these appointments, all of these testing, is it can be very emotional and very triggering. It has not for me, I think, because I've grown up in the medical world and I'm very comfortable with it. I actually went all the way through nursing school. I didn't actually work as a nurse, but I went all the way through nursing school. So the very end, the very med-surg, the very, very end. But and I didn't finish. But it's very comfortable to me just through life experiences. And I think that's a gift from God. I really do. That he's surrounded me in that and made me comfortable in that, you know. But to Travis, it's all new. He's never seen these things, and it's, you know, we're learning a lot of it new together too. Things that I haven't done, like a PET scan. I've never seen a PET scan done, but it seems pretty straightforward. But anyway, so you know, it's not painful, it's triggering, it's loud. Then you have to wait a couple days on the results. That's very difficult. Again, that's going to be a video for another day of waiting on results and how hard that can be. Sitting in that cold room, you know how like rooms are cold. Like you're sitting in this cold room and you're waiting to hear, do you have cancer or not? What stage is your cancer? How aggressive is your cancer? What is the treatment for your cancer? And it's all hurry up and wait. But just remember, eyes on Jesus, because what does the enemy want to do? He wants to distract you. He wants to keep you in fear. He wants to keep you in bondage. And you need to be laser focused and keep your eyes on Jesus and remember his promises. And I'm not going to say it's going to take away all of it. This process is still very challenging and difficult. I'm just being real and honest. But having support, having loved ones in your family, having God, and having information, if you're like me, like something like this, I wish I would have had a video like this or someone I could contact and say, hey, I have a question about this, would have been very helpful for me, especially the port. I had no idea what I was walking into until I was able to talk with another girl who had the same cancer as me, and she was able to kind of talk me through it a little bit, what it was going to look like and feel like and all the things. An update on that, I got it yesterday. I'm just a little sore. It feels like somebody punched me in the shoulder, like a dead arm. And you know when your dead arm starts to come back and it's like that bruised, tingly feeling? That's what it feels like. It looks pretty. You guys saw it earlier. It looks pretty rough, but I just freaked somebody out. Somebody just passed out somewhere online on the internet. Somebody go check on your wives. They just passed out. But I just love y'all so much. I hope this was helpful. If you have questions on testing or if you're walking through something, please message me so I can pray for you so I can answer your questions to the best of my ability. And if I don't know the answer, then I will find out for you and with you. And I just love y'all so much. So make sure you like, subscribe, and comment so you can keep up with these updates to see what's going on with our cancer journey. And the next video is probably going to be on getting results and what that feels like, and just a little more information on the testing process and the emotional side of breast cancer.